Howdy, practical patriots and practical preppers. Gross. Alice, Texas. Hey, folks, John Practical Nurse here. Hey, so I was out buying groceries at one of the big box stores the other day, and somebody come up to me and said, hey, love your videos. Man, I bet you live an exciting life. Would love to come hang out with you sometime. And I said, really? I mean, you want to come help me clean up the chicken coop? Cool. Let's get on with our video. Y'all been waiting for this, and here it is. Primary arms, 2.5x compact scope with patented ACSS CQB reticle, okay? Ideal for AR platforms, 545 by 39, chamber 556 NATO, 308 Win, 7.6. I'm gonna say 7.62 NATO, okay? I've never, maybe just a pet peeve of mine. When you looked at the optic, this is the pattern that you're going to see, okay? Now, please, folks, when you open this box, you're gonna get some really cool items. And of course, the most important thing I think you're getting is this set of instructions. Read your instructions. Trust me, I'm just like you. I can't wait when I get something new or someone says, Johnny, you gotta test this and send it to me. I can't wait to put it on and try it, but by all means, read the instructions first. Included in this box comes some Threadlocker. And I got a rule about Threadlocker, you know, if you like it, put a little Threadlocker on it, okay? If you like it, put a little Threadlocker on it. But trust me, that will keep the thing from shaking, rattling, and rolling because, and coming off or loose, okay? Because these things will shake. You know, your firearms will shake. Put a little Threadlocker on it. If it's a screw hanging around, just put a little Threadlocker on it, okay? And trust me, there are 2 screws in here. This thing is set up to use for ARs with carrying handles. You would remove this part right here or just put it on this. But this does come attached, this base right here. Take those 2 screws out. That'll go up from the base to into the optic. Take them out, little Threadlocker, you know, put it back on there, let it set for about 24 hours or so, okay? I know, I'm like you, I want to go try new things out, but be a little patient, okay? Of course, it explains how the ACSS reticle works. You know, they encourage that you zero at 50 meters, or 50 yards, I'm sorry. I do it at 25 just because I'm a homestead defender, and that's an older person's eyesight. It's just how I do things, folks, because I'm defending my homestead, okay? So just FYI, and we'll get more into that, folks. If you ever have questions about defending your homestead and how you should do things, trust me, I'm more than willing to put videos out on that. So I'm gonna sit there and say this right now, okay? I honestly expected, let me try to do this right here. I honestly expected, like, let's pretend my fingers are the diameter of the optic I'm looking through. I honestly expected to see it just like that. Like, this is my fingers are the diameter of the diameter. I'm sorry, I'm here in America, of the optic. I was expecting to see something that big. Actually, what I saw for this part actually was about the size of a pea. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, hold one. I'm hoping y'all can see that. I'm trying to get this to focus and hold steady here. Too much cappuccino this morning. But can y'all see that? I'm gonna try, oops. Gonna try my best to hold this thing still, and I'm gonna illuminate this thing. Okay, now can you see that? Do you understand what I was saying when I said what you see, trying to get a little focus here, is about the size of a pea, okay? So in other words, when I was expecting that reticle right there, you know, I was expecting to see this and then see this big reticle. This is actually what, whoops. This is actually what I was seeing, okay? Again, I will sit there and say this, for those of us who are older, have astigmatism, that is actually not a bad reticle, but you really got to read the instructions carefully and how to read it, and I'm gonna leave that for somebody else to do. My big thing is, will this work for us older geezers, for us people on a budget? All right, hold on. So a lot of y'all have asked me, you know, in the questions and comments area about like what kind of targets I use for zeroing and my distances, and I will stick to it. I stick with 25 meters. Let me see if you can, I don't know if you can see the kind of the red colored bricks back here, painted bricks. That's 25 meters out here. Again, because I stickly strict with my age and homestead defense. Like I said, we'll get into that more later. But the targets I use, there's a couple of things. When I actually have a little bucks to go buy some targets, I will use these B27 silhouette targets that are measured at 12 by 18. This is smaller than the standard B27, full size, like 5'10" targets, whatever they are, you know. And I like these so much better. My goal, people ask me about the accuracy. My goal is strictly to hit 3 shots, okay, within this part right here. All right, I try to get as close as the X as I possibly can. Now, I don't set all these elaborate contraptions up to zero my rifle. I basically use my body mechanics to zero my rifle because my theory is this. That is what I would be using anyway. I'd either be crouching, sitting, standing, the whole 9 yards, you know, so that's just how I do it. Again, a personal preference, y'all. So I'm gonna go tape this thing down range and we're gonna take a few shots here. Hold on. So from this distance, that target looks about the size of about a 2x10 plank. Short end of a 2x10 plank, but alrighty. And that's, again, just my perspective, y'all. Let's put some rounds in here and let's see what we got. Again, I'm not the fastest shooter in the world, but I also don't take about 5 minutes for each shot. I'll just kind of line it up, use my body mechanics, and just pull the trigger. Alright. Safety on. Let's go have a look, okay? Hold on. So unsupported, you know, this is my first 3 shots. Pretty sure this was the first one, this was probably the second one, and this was probably my third one. You know, people talk about warming up your barrel and whatnot. I tell them in the middle of the night when it's cold outside and you run out there because someone's trying to steal your cow or your livestock or something like that, you know, you're not going to have time out. Let me warm up my barrel. So anyway, this is pretty much about where I would like to hit that target. But of course, you know, we all want to champion and go for the X, don't we? But unsupported, you know, not bench resting or anything, just using my own body mechanics, this is how it came out. So I'm going to say not bad. Let me put a little tape on there and take 3 more shots and see what we got. I'm going to call that good enough. Okay, here's my 3 shots. I did hit within the, oops, let me get up a little higher here. Tape right there. There's 1 shot. Look at this one. This is the next one. And then over here. So if you think about it, let me show you this in relation to my thumb here. The X is about, look at that, that's about my thumb. So think about that from 25 meters, okay? And yes, I know my hands are dirty, I'm out here working. Hence also the do-rag on my head, okay? But anyway, then if you look at this. All right, now I gotta admit, I got a honker of a thumb, all right? But anyway, if you look at this, all right, look at that. That whole area right there. I mean, look at my thumb here, okay? But just think about that, okay? And again, this is a 12 by 18 B27 target. So to me, I would consider that good enough. You know, the silhouette itself will sit there and tell you that the target will kind of be smaller than what you're trying in a nutshell. But I would consider, to me, with just what I call free-handing the rifle and everything, and just using your body mechanics, I'm okay with that. Right there, I'm okay with that. You know, if I sat down and I used sandbags and stuff like that, definitely I could get a lot more accuracy. But again, I like to use what I call body mechanics and muscle memory. Get used to the weight of that firearm and everything. All right. So far, first impressions are great. Let me show you a few things about the optic that I really like. So basically, to set your optic up and get it zeroed in, you've got some really awesome, you know, type of controls here that I really like. And of course, I'm trying to do this without dropping everything because it's sitting kind of on my legs here. 2032 battery, locally found, Walmart, you know, which I really like. And you don't have to have a battery for this. I think it really is just strictly for using the lighted reticle. And you have 11 settings on your lighted reticle here. I'm trying to get this on so I don't drop the battery out. All right, just put that on it for right now. And the cool thing I like about this is you can go from 0. Hope you can all see that. I'm trying to hold this really close here. You can go from 0 to 11 instead of having to go all the way around. 11 is really bright for me, which I'm going to try that out when we start getting our summers here and see how well that works out. It's a little bit over bright, but again, it's just because of the time of year this is. By the way, this is February 2019, and I'm enjoying a beautiful day out here in Central Texas. So you also got, you know, the one here for your left, right. And what the cool thing about it this is when you actually want your impact to hit truly left, it's truly left. All of us have messed around with some optics that it's backwards. And that's okay. I mean, that's okay. You know, it's no big deal. Just learn how it works. But yeah, I really like this up down. This is really cool. I like this. Came with a lens protectors here, and I really like that. This is awesome. Trust me, I think this is, so far this optic right here is really impressing me. So my first impressions are I'm impressed. All right. All right. hold on. Let me just get this thing back together and we'll kind of wrap this up. I really do like this thing. Can't say thank you enough. I get really kind of excited and everything when I get products to test. People send me stuff and, you know, here, Johnny, send you a little gift here, blah, blah, blah. I did, you know, awesome. Awesome. All right, hold on. Okay, wanted to include this. This thing does have a diopter on the end, so we can fine tune, okay? Fine tune the clarity. Really important for a lot of us, especially those of us who are, you know, more experienced age shooters. So if you ask me if I really am impressed by this optic, the answer is absolutely yes. I am extremely impressed. My first impressions of this is just an awesome optic for all of us. Take your pick, whatever you wanna use. I say gray-haired wolves. A friend of mine the other day was sitting there telling me his kids call him Grunt Pa. You know, we're all former military. And what was the other one? Gwag. Geezer with a gun. Right? So if you need an optic, okay, for your 5.56, your 5.45 by 39, your 300, and your 308 7.62 NATO, you know, this is awesome. This is awesome. Highly impressive. Thank you so much, Primary Arms, and thank you for the folks that sent this to me. I am really just thoroughly impressed. I can't say enough good things about this. Less than $200. I'm told if you get them on the scratch and dents, they're about 170 or something like that. It just depends, okay, folks? Never stop checking and never stop shopping. You know, get what you need for your firearm. You dictate what your firearm needs to be set up like, okay? Don't let somebody is not you exactly, okay, dictate how to set your firearm up. That's a personal choice, personal preference, what works for you. Questions, comments, leave them below. Until I see y'all again, I'm Johnny Practical Nurse. Out here.